so blessed, y'all. This track is incredible. S1, You can feel it. I'm a blessed man. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. Right now, I'm a blessed man. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. No question, I'm a blessed man.
Good evening, all my South Orange Maplewood listeners, and all those other listeners in the towns of Millburn, Livingston, Irvington, West Orange, East Orange, Orange, and Newark. Welcome to In the Village With Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience, and live on the World Wide Web at somore.org, and the only radio show covering all your news, opinions, politics, talk, and sports happening in the South Orange Maplewood and surrounding communities. You can listen to us every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. And reach us at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626 to participate in the discussion. We have an interesting program lined up for you this evening, and I look forward to your participation in the discussion. Now, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have quite a few subjects we want to bring to you. And after we get to the news, we're going to get to some of these subjects. As you know, the big news is regarding Ferguson with the funeral of Michael Brown. And one of the articles we want to bring to you are Ferguson feeds off the poor. 3 warrants a year per household. That's one of the things we definitely want to bring to you. Ferguson and the modern debtors' prison. Yes, that's another one. Of course, another one is, this is very, very interesting, my ladies and gentlemen. Explaining white privilege to a broke white person. Explaining white privilege to a broke white person. Very interesting. Another one is Dear White Mom. Dear White Mom. Another article is 3 blacks among 12 grand jurors in Ferguson case. 3 blacks among 12 grand jurors in Ferguson case. African immigrants have the highest academic achievements in the U.S. African immigrants have the highest academic achievement in the U.S. And of course, we have the 214 states with the best and worst school system. You will be surprised to find out who is number 1. So there you go. Stay tuned. We're going to be bringing some of those news to you tonight as we continue here in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. And of course, I always got to send a special shout out, a special Somore shout out to all my listeners in Trinidad and Tobago. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, Trinidad and Tobago is at its deepest depths, so to speak, with our government in Trinidad and Tobago. Tomorrow is going to be one of the biggest days in the history of politics in Trinidad and Tobago. Because what's going to happen is we are supposed to have a vote in the Senate on a constitutional reform bill where if a candidate doesn't get 50% of the votes in an election, there's going to be a runoff vote between the 2 highest vote getters. Listen carefully, yes. if a candidate doesn't get 50% of the votes, there's going to be a runoff between two of the highest vote getters. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen? Say we are running in the mayor's election, and in the Democratic race, you have 3 candidates or 4 candidates, and none of the candidates receive 50% of the votes. There's going to be another election in the following 15 days where the top 2 candidates now going to have a runoff election to find out who is going to be the winner. That is what the current government of Trinidad and Tobago wants to do. Just think about it. Think about it. You have an election, you win with 45% of the votes. Another person has 30% of the votes, and another person has 25% of the votes. So the person that got 45% and 30% will now have to go in another election to find out who is going to be the winner. Now, the person that get, the people that voted for the candidate that get 25% of the votes, they now got to decide if they want to vote for the 2 other parties that they never voted for in the first place. Think about it. That's what the current government of Trinidad and Tobago wants to do. Well, just giving you a little bit about the madness we face in our beautiful land of Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, that's it. The madness continues, ladies and gentlemen. But let's go over to the maplewoodian.com and go to my good friend, Joe Strop. Well, let's go for a short, quick break, and we'll be right back. A short, quick break. We'll be right back. We are back with you. It's in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maple Online Radio Experience. Coming to you every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's 8 to 9:30 p.m. You can reach us here at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626. Of course, we have a special guest joining us here tonight in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maple Online Radio Experience. The guest is Marjorie. Marjorie is someone from South Orange.
No, I'm from Maplewood. Get it right. I'm from Maplewood.
You're from Maplewood?
Yes, I am.
Okay, my mistake on your error, Marjorie.
Uh-oh, this is going to be great.
We're having Marjorie joining us. She's going to be joining us all night tonight, and hopefully Marjorie can join us here in the village and be a co-host with Anselm here in the Village with Anselm on
Anything
the South Orange Maple Online.
Anything.
So Marjorie, welcome.
Thank you. I'm sorry I'm late. I was cooking. So. I don't cook that often.
So you want to talk about, so what did you cook, Marjorie?
I made some ribs and some chicken, and I grilled this food, and it was just so good. It was hard to get away from it all.
You made ribs?
Yes, pork, swine.
Pork? Oh, you still indulge in that pork stuff?
Yes, it's, the food of slaves, so I figure I might as well just, deal with my heritage.
Food of slaves? Where did you get that from? The food of slaves? Slaves could afford pork, Marjorie?
The slaves are given whatever scraps were left, so, that include the ribs and hog maws and the feet and the ears, and I guess with that and the intestines, they made whatever they could out of that. But I mean, I don't eat all the rest of that stuff. So
I told the slaves got chitlins.
well, the chitlins are the intestines, honey.
Yeah, but you got pork. You have pork. Pork is not the leftovers.
I would think the ribs weren't like probably the most, sought after piece of the meat because there's not much meat on them. But now it's become a, Black American delicacy.
Why do people eat ribs anyway?
Well, I should have brought you some.
No, I'm a vegetarian.
You're missing out. You're missing out.
No, trust me. I know. I don't. Back in Trinidad, we used to have a sign that says "Wanted dead or alive, Mr. Pork." We had a sign, a big sign. With
and you're telling me there are no Trinis that eat swine or eat pig?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Trinidadians.
There's a lot of people out here who eat bacon and admit it these days. So.
But what about all the steroids they give? We kind of digressing a little bit later. I'm just introducing.
Well, we can digress into all the steroids and genetically modified food that all of us are taking in. But let's talk about that. And that's another show and another.
No, but
topic.
that's okay, Marjorie, because you sent me an article. African immigrants have the highest academic achievement in the U.S.
Okay, yeah.
You sent me an article regarding that, and since you sent me the article, I was worrying. And no, you said
worrying. Don't worry.
You said African immigrants.
Yes, immigrants.
So you're not speaking about Americans.
No, not Black Americans. African immigrants, particularly Nigerians, from what I understand.
You say they are more intelligent than.
I'm not. This is the article states. I mean, and I guess what we're dealing with is standardized tests yet again, because that seems to be the gauge of. Intelligence or academic standing. So,
no.
But all immigrants, for that matter, do better than native-born Americans.
And why is that?
Except for Hispanic immigrants. Why is that?
Wait a minute. Is African
immigrants, European immigrants, Chinese, or any Asian immigrants do better on test than native-born people of that same ethnicity.
But what about immigrants with American-born kids, with African-American-born kids?
Probably after the first or second generation, it just starts going down after that.
So you think after the first or second generation? Now let me just read a little bit, a paragraph here. This is from the Fox AtlantaNightSpots.com. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wish I had that in front of me.
Yeah, I get you in front of you.
Okay.
It says Africans have the highest educational attainment rates of any immigrant group in the United States, with a higher level of completion than the stereotyped Asian American model minority. It is not only the first generation that does well. An estimate indicates that a highly disproportionate percentage of black students at elite university are Africans or the children of African immigrants. In an analysis of Census Bureau data by the Journal of Blacks in Higher Education, African immigrants to the United States perform more likely to be college educated than any other immigrant group. African immigrants to the U.S. are also more highly educated than any other native-born ethnic group, including white Americans. Some 48.9% of all African immigrants hold a college diploma. This is slightly more than the percentage of Asian immigrants to the U.S., nearly double the rate of native-born white Americans, and nearly 4 times the rate of native-born African Americans. So,
yeah,
it doesn't look good, Marjorie.
What do you mean it doesn't look good?
But what I'm saying is that, according to the article, African immigrants do much, 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 much better.
That's four muches, yes. Than Black Americans.
Than Black Americans.
And better than native-born white Americans.
Right. And there is much more of them than there are of immigrants.
There are much more
of African Americans that are born here than there are of immigrants.
So we're dealing with, I guess, percentage-wise.
Yeah, we're dealing with percentage-wise.
Yeah.
So what's really going on here? How do we stem that tide? As a matter of fact, Hold that thought right there, Marjorie. Time check. The time is approximately 8:15 p.m. We're going to go for a short break. And when we come back, we're going to continue here with Marjorie in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maple Online Radio Experience. African immigrants have the highest academic achievement in the U.S. We'll be right back after this short break.
The Strollers, Maplewood's community theater since 1932, proudly presents Comedy Tonight. Come laugh at your friends, come laugh at your neighbors as they tickle your funny bone with song, dance, and old-fashioned sketch comedy. One weekend only, September 19th, 20th, and 21st at the Bergdorf Center for the Performing Arts in Maplewood. All tickets $10. Go to www.thestrollers.org for all the details. Don't stay at home, come play with the Strollers.
Having problems with your house? Is your mortgage upside down? Can't get a loan modification or short sale? Tenant troubles, job loss or transfer? Does your house need repairs, or maybe you're facing foreclosure? Time is not on your side. Call now and speak to one of our friendly associates. No matter the reason you have to sell, we have solutions. Operators are standing by to take your call. 800-709-1732 or visit www.7sellahome.com.
Are you looking for a professional logo design for your website, brand, or business? Then we are the company you are looking for. We are professional graphic designers, and with our skills, we will design a perfect, high-quality logo for you. We work with standout concepts, nice contrasts, and color balance. Please let us know your text for use in logo, web address, color of logo that you want. We will design 3 variations of your logo for you to choose from for only $99.95, with 100% refund of your $99.95 if you're not satisfied. We provide fast delivery and professional design. We also design any size web banner ad for $35. Call us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to take your call.
Do you want your kid to run faster with better running form and conditioning for his or her sport? Then Running Development Academy is the place for him or her. Our training packages fix their form and make them run faster. How about training to run a marathon or just run faster in your respective event? Maybe you just want to learn to run properly and lose weight in the process. Our trainers, a former 800 meters track Olympian and an 8 times world record holder in Masters Track and Field, will get you there. Don't delay. Sign up today at runningdevelopmentacademy.com or contact us at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444 to learn more.
Want to learn piano for kids? Then I recommend Wendy Goldstein School of Piano. Wendy Goldstein has been offering piano lessons since 1993 and teaches piano in a very natural way. An alumni of Manhattan School of Music, Wendy creates customized lesson plans for each student and helps bring music alive. Wendy provides you a convenient location, the best value, and the most fun way to learn piano. All ages are welcome, and the first lesson is always free. Have questions? Call Wendy at 201-207-5169.
Want to take a cruise but don't have a U.S. visa? No problem. Cruise and Rail Travel are experts at cruises that do not require a U.S. visa. Visit www.cruiseandrail.net or call 868-631-8785. Find us on Facebook or drop us a tweet.
This is the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. We want to hear from you at 973-327-3626 or log on to SoMore.org to let us know your opinion. Go ahead and advertise on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. You can reach us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is... You're listening to the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. For more, go to SoMore.org to participate in the discussion.
I feel so blessed, y'all. This track is incredible. S1, You can feel it. I'm a blessed man. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. Right now, I'm a blessed man. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. No question, I'm a blessed man. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. You can feel it, you can feel it. So much joy, haha. It's like a dream come true, like a sneak preview of the grand finale. I get a taste of heaven, it's like milk and honey. I was blessed with love before I had money. The things I love most, you can't take from me. I hold them close, the most high in my family. I might never get fortune and fame, I'm always gonna say I've been a fortunate man. And when they ask who I am, I will stand up and say I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask where I'm at, it don't matter, I'm with you, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask why, I will point to the sky, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yes, man, I'm a blessed man. We walk through the park holding hands, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm a blessed man. You're so beautiful, the words escape me, like the day I watched you give birth to our baby. You illuminate when I'm in a dark place. Bless my heart with a smile on your face. I'ma say it, my wife is hot, so it don't matter how much ice I got. I put a ring on her finger, leave it at that. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I'm at. If it wasn't for God, maybe we never would've met. But he brought us together, so there's no question we're blessed. I don't write many love songs, I'm sorry girl. The truth is I never hear beats worthy of it. But when the glove fits, I let the world know I'm married to an angel and plan to stay faithful. And when they ask who I am, I will stand up and say I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask where I'm at, it don't matter, I'm with you, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask why, I will point to the sky, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yes, man, I'm a blessed man. As I sit back reflecting, it's obvious that my life's been protected. I had friends get murdered, I could've been there. Friends committed suicide, I could've went there. Depression, my life could've ended. I could've took a flight on September 11th. Life is fragile, we take it for granted. I'm thankful for the life I was handed. Christ stretched out his arms on the cross, offered me freedom at a tremendous cost. I can't accept the gift without repentance. I talk to God with expectancy. He said, ask for anything in the name of my son. If it's my will, then it will be done. I'm not praying for material possessions. Being close to God is the greatest blessing. And when they ask who I am, I will stand up and say I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask where I'm at, it don't matter, I'm with you, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask why, I will point to the sky, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yes, man, I'm a blessed man. And when they ask who I am, I will stand up and say I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask where I'm at, it don't matter, I'm with you, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. And when they ask why, I will point to the sky, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yeah. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man. Yeah, yes, man, I'm a blessed man. I don't got rims on the car, you know. I don't got a lot of jewelry, you know, but I'm blessed with life. I'm blessed knowing God. I'm blessed with family. Yes, man, I'm a blessed man.
Maybe the hardest part is if you teach, you have to live your teaching. You can't say, you do not as I do, but do as I say. No. You have to say, I'm doing my best to live what I teach. I have a painting by Phoebe of a group that she calls Sister Suki's Funeral. And all the women, there are about 9 women, and they all look like women in my grandmother's prayer meeting group. So whenever I'm obliged to do something, I take that painting and I look at that painting. There's an empty chair. And I think, now what would Grandma do? What would she say? I can almost hear her voice say, now, sister, you know what's right. Just do right. You don't really have to ask anybody. The truth is, right may not be expedient. It may not be profitable. but it will satisfy your soul.
You're listening to the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. For more, go to SoMore.org to participate in the discussion.
We are back with you. It's in the Village with Anselm and Marjorie on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. Coming to you every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. From 8 to 9:30 p.m. You can reach us here at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/SoMore Radio. That's facebook.com/SoMore Radio. You can tweet us at SoMore Radio. You can also listen to us on tunein.com. That's TUNEIN.com. TUNEIN.com. When you go to tunein.com, you just put in SoMore, SOMORE, and you can listen to us. You're going to find our icon right there. And you can save it to listen to us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can also send us your email at somore.org@gmail.com. That's somore.org@gmail.com. You can also call our offices at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. Now, Marjorie, let's get back to this article. American immigrants have the highest academic achievement in the United States. One thing I don't understand, though, if the population is smaller, how are you matching that to a larger African-American population that was born here? I don't get that.
What do you mean matching it?
Well, what I'm saying, you're comparing it. If, for example, if there is 100,000 Nigerians,
that's a lot.
Well, you know,
there are a lot of Nigerians, but that's a lot. But go ahead.
But I'm just saying, there's 100.
Right, let's do it smaller numbers because that's just really, above my.
If there's 10,000 Nigerians,
okay, you might be able to handle
right?
that one.
And you have 5 million African Americans. Yeah. How then could you compare?
So you compare percentage-wise. So among that percentage of Nigerians, what percentage went to college and completed, as well as, and what percentage of those 5 million black Americans, or whatever the number was, went to college and completed. So you're just doing a percentage-wise, not numerically.
Let me just read some of the other statistics.
Okay.
In 1997, 19.4% of all adult African immigrants in the United States held a graduate degree.
19% of all immigrants.
Of all adult African immigrants.
Okay, African
now,
immigrants.
I'm trying to understand, when they say African immigrants, are they talking about immigrants from Africa?
Exactly.
Or they,
immigrants from Africa.
So a black person from the Caribbean is not African?
No. Because you're not a native-born African. You are... Why are you looking at me like that? You're not a native-born African, just as if I'm not either.
I'm just trying to understand. If I was born...
I don't know if there's any Caribbean statistic. They're only talking about Africans, and probably more likely Nigerians. People with last names like Akinwumi or... Olafuse or something like that. I mean, I know people with those last names. So.
Oh, I thought you just made those up.
No, I didn't make those up.
Olafuse.
Ola Doughton, Akinwumi. I'm just thinking of former students I've had.
Oh, former students you've had.
Yes, okay.
So that's not clear to me. 19% of all adult African immigrants. So it appears that they are only talking about Africans from the continent.
And continental Africans who have immigrated
right.
to the United States.
Right.
And their children seem to far surpass black Americans as well as other Americans. And according to the statistics, they surpass all other immigrants as well, even if it's just by a fracture of a point.
Okay, so let me finish this. It says, in 1997, 19.4% of all adult African immigrants in the United States held a graduate degree, compared to 8.1% of adult whites and 3.8% of adult blacks in the United States, respectively.
Wow.
This information suggests that America has an equally large achievement gap between whites and African Asian immigrants as it does
No,
between
this is
white.
all whites. All whites.
Yeah,
So there's
all
a
white.
gap between whites and African
and
and
Asian.
Asian immigrants, and then there's a gap between whites and us regular black people.
You know, the person who did this is kind of crazy. I'll be
Well,
honest
no,
with you.
I mean, I guess they were just trying. Go ahead, finish. I'm
Okay,
listening.
the information suggests that that America has an equally large achievement gap between whites and African Asian immigrants as it does between white and black Americans.
Isn't that something?
But I'm totally lost, you know.
Why? You're
So
lost.
because what this person is saying now is that he or she, let me see who it is.
I think it was a guy who wrote that.
I don't see a name
It
here.
was at the top.
Yeah. Whoever the person is saying now that they have narrowed the achievement gap to African immigrants, right? And
What was
when
the wait?
compared-
What was the narrowing? There's just a gap.
yeah, because
Okay.
he totally in his study he took out people that are born in African Americans that are born in the United States. He's comparing, African immigrants
And
to
whites.
whites in America,
White Americans.
and comparing them to Asian as well.
Okay.
And he's saying that even with that comparison, there's a large gap as far as the achievement gap is concerned.
Yeah, maybe we should look at an achievement gap. I mean, if we could do some math, the achievement gap between African immigrants and Black Americans, there's a gap right there, apparently.
But why would you want to look at that, though?
Well, why are we looking at any gap, Anselm?
Yeah, because I think when we look at a gap, you compare a different group to a different group.
So-
because even though you are from Africa, you're still black. Why are you comparing African black as opposed to a Caribbean black or as opposed to African American?
You're asking me why make the comparison?
No, I'm just saying in general. I'm just asking in general.
I guess that, comparisons and studies help you figure out why things are the way they are and perhaps what can be done to make them better.
But how about the achievement gap overall with the achievement gap between whites and black?
So if
As
we,
opposed to all of a sudden we now have an
we want
achievement
to
gap.
continue to divide everyone, yes.
we want to have an achievement gap now between black Africans and black Caribbeans and black Americans.
I'm sorry, but no one's talking about Black Caribbeans right now, okay?
Well, we didn't.
It's not happening right now.
We didn't absolutely get there yet. We didn't
get there. We're going to find that information.
But
there's some additional, and what this person did, whoever that author is, and which I do not have in front of me, this has been out for a while. It's nothing new.
Yeah, but I think if it's not new, but somehow it doesn't make sense to me, though.
Well, listen to this. Here it says, I'm reading a New York Times article. This is an excerpt. This article would drive success, January 25th, 2014. And there was an author, a woman who did a book on tiger moms, I believe. And she named certain ethnic groups, religious and national origin groups, do better than Americans overall. That includes Indian Americans, Jewish Americans, Mormons, Chinese, of course. And then she mentions Black and Hispanic groups that far outperform some white and Asian groups. So the article reads, immigrants from many West Indian and African countries such as Jamaica, Ghana, and Haiti are climbing America's higher education ladder, but perhaps the most prominent are Nigerians. Nigerians make up less than 1% of the black population in the United States. Yet in 2013, nearly 1/4 of the black students at Harvard Business School were of Nigerian ancestry. Over 1/4 of Nigerian Americans have a graduate or professional degree as compared with only about 11% of whites.
Now, hold that thought right there, Marjorie.
So 1/4 of Nigerians is 25% of Nigerians have this professional degree as compared with only 11% of whites.
Hold that thought. When we come back, we're going to delve into Is there another reason why the Nigerians are being so successful? We'll be right back after this short break.
Want to take a cruise but don't have a U.S. visa? No problem. Cruise and Rail Travel are experts at cruises that do not require a U.S. visa. Visit www.cruiseandrail.net or call 868-631-8785. Find us on Facebook or drop us a tweet.
Want to learn piano for kids? Then I recommend Wendy Goldstein School of Piano. Wendy Goldstein has been offering piano lessons since 1993 and teaches piano in a very natural way. An alumni of Manhattan School of Music, Wendy creates customized lesson plans for each student and helps bring music alive. Wendy provides you a convenient location, the best value, and the most fun way to learn piano. All ages are welcome and the first lesson is always free. Have questions? Call Wendy at 201-207-5169.
Do you want your kid to run faster with better running form and conditioning for his or her sport? Then Running Development Academy is the place for him or her. Our training packages fix their form and make them run faster. How about training to run a marathon or just run faster in your respective event? Maybe you just want to learn to run properly and lose weight in the process. Our trainers, a former 800 meters track Olympian and an 8 times world record holder in Masters Track and Field, will get you there. Don't delay. Sign up today at runningdevelopmentacademy.com or contact us at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444 to learn more.
Are you looking for a professional logo design for your website, brand, or business? Then we are the company you are looking for. We are professional graphic designers, and with our skills, we will design a perfect, high-quality logo for you. We work with standout concepts, nice contrasts, and color balance. Please let us know your text for use in logo, web address, color of logo that you want. We will design 3 variations of your logo for you to choose from for only $99.95, with 100% refund of your $99.95 if you're not satisfied. We provide fast delivery and professional design. We also design any size web banner ad for $35. Call us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to take your call.
Having problems with your house? Is your mortgage upside down? Can't get a loan modification or short sale? Tenant troubles, job loss, or transfer? Does your house need repairs, or maybe you're facing foreclosure? Time is not on your side. Call now and speak to one of our friendly associates. No matter the reason you have to sell, we have solutions. Operators are standing by to take your call. 800-709-1732 or visit www.7sellahome.com.
The Strollers, Maplewood's community theater since 1932, proudly presents Comedy Tonight. Come laugh at your friends, come laugh at your neighbors as they tickle your funny bone with song, dance, and old-fashioned sketch comedy. One weekend only, September 19th, 20th, and 21st at the Bergdorf Center for the Performing Arts in Maplewood. All tickets $10. Go to www.thestrollers.org for all the details. Don't stay at home, come play with the Strollers.
Get into the discussion at 973-327-3626. This is the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. We want to hear your opinion. You can log on to showmore.org or give us a call at 973-327-3626. For community news, sports, and opinions, call us at 973-327-3626 or log on to showmore.org. You're listening to the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. You're listening to the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. For more, go to showmore.org to participate in the discussion.
We are back with you. It's in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. Actually, in the Village with Marjorie and Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online
Village with
Radio.
Anselm hanging around Marjorie.
Coming to you every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's 8 to 9:30 p.m. You can reach us here at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626. Now, Marjorie, we are talking about this article regarding black achievement. And you read some statistics there, and I have a concern.
Why are you concerned about this, Anselm?
I have a concern that these statistics are trying to develop a wedge between African immigrants, Caribbean immigrants, in that you are telling one black group that you are better than this other group. And in addition, you are telling African Americans who are born here that, look, these guys that are coming from abroad are better than you. And these guys that are coming from the Caribbean are better than you.
I'm shaking my head right now, anybody who's listening.
Yeah. Well, why is that?
Well, I mean, a statistic doesn't tell anyone anything. It's
Of
just
course
a
it does.
number. So, I remember I took a statistics class, which I didn't do very
so
well
let me
in.
ask you a question.
And the professor said liars figure and figures can lie. Now, not to say that these, but you take a number and you interpret it however you want to.
Okay.
So I'm not thinking it's driving a wedge in any way.
So let me give you a
somebody
number.
just texted me, a friend of mine, a neighbor. She just said that, so much for the bell curve. It's not as if, we have some natural, as Negro people, a natural inferiority. I think that is something to look up to and to
So let me give
highly
you,
acclaim.
Let me
for
give
that
you a
matter.
number. Let me give you a number.
All right.
There is 53 cops in Ferguson, Missouri. 3 of those cops are black out of 53.
I don't know where this is going, but go ahead.
How do you interpret that?
How do I interpret?
Yeah.
What does that got to do? Can we stay on this topic?
Yeah, but
Can we go to that topic? I'll have an interpretation for that. What do you mean how I interpret it? That 3 out of 53, and I don't do percentages of the, that's the, less than 1.
Okay, good.
3%.
So let's go.
Are black.
So
Okay,
let's go
back to this
Let's go back to this
article.
percentage now.
Okay.
And they're saying that.
Would you not want to know this information? Is that what you're saying? Because it was out here already. So we're just.
But what is it trying to tell you?
I think the question is what traits do these Africans, particularly Nigerians, have?
Traits. Be careful when you're talking about Nigerians and traits. Traits.
Do these Nigerians or values that they have that many of us born here in the United States do not have? And probably what other things. Now, first of all, you have to consider immigrants in general, right? So when you think about immigrants that come to the country, they are not. The United States, is like a selective immigration policy. So we're going to only take people that have certain degrees or that have skills that are qualified. And I think that this is what explains why that foreign-born versus native-born Hispanic population isn't the same. So Hispanics that are native-born do better than ones who are foreign-born, because a lot of the Hispanics that come are coming illegally. So they weren't selected by the United States. Okay, yeah, you're a doctor or you're a chemist or you're this or that, to come in.
So you're saying that the immigration has a selection policy?
Of course it does.
I don't know about that, because
Yes, it does.
I'm from when I came to
That
this
was
country.
back in the old days. Okay, we're talking about now. And
They didn't- I don't
but I
think
mean
I got
they don't.
selected because I had any degrees
I
back
mean,
then.
just like I'll hear people say, "Oh,
But that's discrimination, though.
no," but that's the United States policy on immigration.
So you
So I mean, which is something that we would have to look up right now and come up with the facts about it. But they don't allow just anybody in. I mean, if you have certain skills, they will allow you in.
So you're saying they pick and choose when you go to the for example,
the United States Embassy in
you go
a
to the-
foreign country,
Yeah.
yes, and I guess the Foreign Service officers will review if you're not married to somebody and you just want to move. First of all, even to come to the United States, as you're aware of, or you probably aren't aware of, because back in the old days they didn't do this.
Yeah.
But first of all, you need money to get out of a country, to get on a plane.
You need money.
Yes. I mean, we're not talking about refugees. We're talking about people who want to leave their country. I mean, it's a so-called third world, developing world brain drain. And so people with skills are those who come over here. So when people say, oh, all Chinese are smart, well, of course, those Chinese that were able to get over here and had the means to do so are the ones that came.
But Margie, there's a lot of people from Russia coming to the United States of America who are very poor. And they go to the U.S. Embassy, if there's one in Russia.
Of course there is. I would hope so.
And they get to come into the country, and they're very poor. There are other countries. There are other people from little islands in the Caribbean. They're very poor and they get in. You see, they're sneaking into the country.
I'm not. Let's go back to let's stay on this one topic because I don't have that information. I didn't do any homework on that right now, but I'm sure of what I'm telling you. I'm sure of what I'm telling you. So at any rate, these Nigerians or any Africans, primarily West Africans that migrate, and plus if you have to consider that Nigeria is the most highly populated country on the continent of Africa.
And also, don't forget, it's one of the most highly corrupted countries as well.
Why are you dogging out the Nigerian? You know, we have a large Nigerian population here.
No, because listen, my sister-in-law is married to an excellent Nigerian young man. Hey, Henry, a special so-much shout-out to you, Henry.
Henry, I'm sorry for what's about to come.
I know my good friend, and I have a lot of good Nigerian friends as well.
Oh, yes, we all. Yes,
but
I
I'm
have a
saying
lot
that,
of friends,
I'm
too.
saying
Go
that
ahead.
if you look at the corruption index, and this is real now, Nigeria is high up.
Well, I think
on
that
the corruption index, or not high up, but low down.
Corruption is, different forms of corruption. There's political corruption. There's bribery. There's extortion. There's all kinds of stuff. There's
all of that happens.
Kickbacks. But I guess even doing that requires a level of intelligence.
So you say, I like that one.
I mean, come on, everybody can't think of something like that, So
you're saying the intelligence, they may just use the intelligence in the wrong way.
Doesn't everyone do? I mean, every nationality, every ethnic group has its corrupt people.
But let me give you this story.
So for a lot of corrupt people to come out of Nigeria, just as a lot of doctors come out of Nigeria, scientists come out of Nigeria, mathematicians come out of Nigeria, and I guess some of those people coming out are going to be corrupt. But look at it. It's so many. It's the highest population of black people, and outside of that, it's in Brazil. And from what I remember, or maybe not even anymore, the third highest group of black people is in Brooklyn. So if you've got, 250 million black people, I am assuming that some of them are going to be corrupt, some of them are going to be very intelligent, and some of them aren't going to be that. Then the rest of them are going to just be in the middle. So,
but sticking on the topic, let's go to Columbia High School, and if we're looking at this article, so you think Columbia High School shouldn't be having statistics that.
So you want to break down? So when we look at
the Caribbean, the Caribbean Africans, because we got to change them. We got to put them into a different box. Because we're calling them all Africans now. We're not calling them blacks anymore. So
we can just call them all black, and thank God we have these Nigerians to help boost us up.
So we have black
as black people, yes.
Black Caribbeans, black Nigerians, black Africans. Black Africans. It just doesn't sound right. But anyway,
whatever.
Anyway, so at Columbia High School. So now what we are saying is that instead of taking it all together,
but the district is not. We're all black people to them, so it doesn't even matter. But someone is and I think that this is okay because black people. Oh my goodness, it's all right for black people to have an ethnicity and have different ethnicities, just like people say, you're African and. Are you Nigerian? Are you Ghanaian? Are you from Togo? Are you South African? Are you Zimbabwe? Are you Zambia, Tanzania? What are you? But we all just get lumped into being black or African. So it's okay. When they say there are tribal wars between Africans, does anybody call European wars tribal wars? No. If you're French, you're different than an Englishman. You're different from a Scot. You're different from a German. So we have the right to have ethnicities too. And it's beautiful because that's the way it is.
Now, Audre Lorde said, "It is not our differences that divide us. It's our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences."
Okay.
You see, because what I'm saying is that, it to me, that article that you read, I don't know what it achieves.
Is you act like you don't want this information. You know what it achieves?
I think it achieves.
I think it achieves the idea that there is some black innate inferiority. And here you have some real, original, 100% black people that got it
oh my
together.
God.
And
So
I
what
think
you're
that's
saying-
really cool.
So what you're
Let me read.
So what you're saying now, the Nigerians are 100% black, and the blacks that come from the Caribbean is only 95%.
Why you stop worrying about Caribbeans? Just stop it.
I'm just making a
God,
comparison.
I mean, I'm not going all into, being an American Negro.
what
I'm not
about
going into
African
any.
Americans?
What about us?
Are they not original? They're original too.
Original to what?
Original black people.
What are you talking? Can we go back to this? You're just trying to stump me.
Sure, just go
All
ahead.
right. I'm sure that some people, I can't believe you. I'm sure that some people must have read this article before. Now, it's odd to think, okay, here it is. So according to this author, this is the article written by the New York Times about, I guess they're synopsizing what the author says. It turns out that for all their diversity and strikingly successful groups in America today share 3 traits that together propel success. The first is a superiority complex, a deep-seated belief in their exceptionality.
Okay.
The second appears to be the opposite, insecurity, a feeling that you or what you've done is not good enough. And the third is impulse control. Any individual from any background can have what we call this triple package of traits. But research shows that some groups are instilling them more frequently than others, and that they are enjoying greater success. It's odd to think of people feeling simultaneously superior and insecure, yet it's precisely this unstable combination that generates a drive, a chip on the shoulder, a goading need to prove oneself. Add impulse control, the ability to resist temptation, and the result is people who systematically sacrifice present gratification in pursuit of future attainment. So, ironically, each element of the triple package violates a core tenet of contemporary American thinking. We know that group superiority claims are specious and dangerous, yet every one of America's most successful groups tells itself that it's exceptional in a deep sense. Mormons believe that they are gods in embryo, placed on earth to lead the world to salvation. They see themselves, in the historian Claudia L. Bushman's words, as an island of morality in a sea of moral decay. Middle Eastern experts and many Iranians explicitly refer to Persian superiority complex. At their first Passover Seders, most Jewish children hear that Jews are the chosen people, and later they may be taught that Jews are moral people, a people of law and intellect, a people of survivors. That insecurity should be a lever of success is another anathema in American culture. Feelings of inadequacy are cause for concern or even therapy. Parents deliberately instilling insecurity in their children is almost unthinkable, yet insecurity runs deep in every one of America's rising groups. And consciously or unconsciously, they tend to instill them in their own children. So I think there's this inferiority complex that many of us have, and some of us do not have.
So what I'm hearing.
I mean, but again, I am not a sociologist.
Yeah. So, but what I'm hearing is that it appears that most African Americans have a big inferiority complex. That's why they are not that successful.
I'm not going to say people are not that successful. Why do you have to take it to the extreme?
That's not to the extreme. But all right,
they're not that successful.
All right, let's go to Columbia High School.
Look at how we have survived. So that is a success in itself.
But let me go to Columbia High School.
All right, take us to this community. Yes.
To be going to this community.
Indeed.
If you go to Columbia High School and you look at the levels, it is a known fact that most of the lower levels are predominantly black.
And those black students in the higher levels are probably... I don't want to say that and make this, big jump, but a friend of mine who is an unnamed administrator has told me that among the students progressing, the black students, they're generally of African, primarily Nigerian, because that's community here, and Haitian descent. So it's the regular, plain old blacks that, like myself, who would be in a level 3 class.
So let me make sure I understand this. The kids in level 4 AP classes and honors classes, the black kids, are predominantly.
I don't know that.
No, I'm just asking a question.
I don't know.
You said that.
But I mean, maybe we should make that. We can find that out. I mean, in my own experience, but I don't teach here, so, but where I do teach.
Where you do teach is mainly the kids that are in the AP classes.
They're Nigerian students.
Nigerian students. And they're very intelligent students. There's no other ways of them.
I mean, they're students. Some of them are goofy, and some of them, sorry, if they didn't know, they're not listening. Some of them are goofy, and some of them, I mean, but they have managed to get there. I mean, I've seen the valedictorian in Nigerian before.
There is no ulterior motives that they have used in order to get there.
What do you
ulterior
mean?
Means.
Like what? Were you trying to say that they scam somebody to get there?
I didn't say
you got some Nigerian problems. I'm sorry, Nigerian brothers and sisters.
You trying to put words in my mouth.
Well, what other kind of method could they use?
I'm asking the question. I'm just asking you the question.
They use their academic ability, their innate intelligence.
Okay, that's fine.
And I guess we're propelled by their feelings of superiority. I mean, I talked about this or discussed this with some of my Nigerian students, and they do believe.
But why are the African American kids not doing well in schools like Columbia, as opposed to if some of those same African American kids go to a Seton Hall Prep or a Newark Academy or Oratory Prep or a St. Peter's Prep, that some of those same kids of color all in a sudden are more academically inclined at those schools as opposed to Columbia High School.
I would not blame that on Columbia High School.
I'm not blaming it. I'm just asking the question. She's taking a deep breath.
Yes, I think it's time for a commercial break. Can you break for a commercial so I can breathe? I need some water. You're
gonna get water. We still got 4 minutes before you get to the top of the hour here.
All right, fine. Your question. What's the question, Ansel? What's the question?
The question is that why are these kids?
You were putting it on Columbia High School. I don't.
No, I'm not blaming Columbia High School. I'm just asking the question why, because it appears to me that when you go to Columbia High School and you get into a level 2 or level 3 class, it's like crabs in a barrel syndrome. You don't get out, and that's mostly the black kids. And then when come to take the SAT, for example, if I go in and as a freshman in level 2, and I become a junior and a senior, and I'm only in level 3, how come am I going to be successful in taking the SAT when I'm at the lower ladder? How long am I going to be able to take the SAT and the ACT?
You are taking this into. We are only talking about this. This is a second segment of this. You can't unsuccessfully segue into that. I mean, it's just not fair. We are talking about whether these students of Nigerian descent, and they did name these other so-called minority groups, whatever that means, but they name these other groups who have this feeling of superiority and a drive and a push. Now we could wonder,
but what they're saying is that then the African Americans don't have that drive and push.
I think that is the assumption. They don't say that, but since that's missing, I guess that can be inferred. Sure,
that could be inferred that the kids that are born here don't have that superiority complex.
That's right.
And they feel like they're inferior because if you're not superior,
we can deduce that, but that's not necessarily. It's not stated.
But I don't think so. I think
you don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't think so. And I was born in the Caribbean because I think there are factors that actually causes these things to happen. I mean,
and those factors can be
I'll give you an
historical, cultural, economic. Those are different things. I mean, we've had this discussion before, and you're trying to get me to say something that I'm not ready to say right now. So
I'm not trying to get you to say anything. Really.
All right. But, So a Nigerian community deals with its Nigerian people. They have their own cultural, familial ways, and I'm sure that is some assistance. The backbone of their academic and economic success in this country.
Okay.
So, they come here and their culture is intact, whereas our culture of Black Americans is pretty much an American culture, which doesn't really require you to work that hard because you're not supposed to.
No, hold
work
that thought
hard in
right
the
there.
United States.
Hold that thought right there. Time check. The time is approximately 9 p.m. That time check is brought to you by All Star Motors, providing you with services you can trust. They provide you with ASC certified mechanics, New Jersey State inspection facilities, used car sale, authorized police towing, and emission repair facilities. You can call them at 973-762-8771. That's 973-762-8771. When we come back, we're going to talk about those cultural differences.
Give me some water.
We'll be right back. I'll be right back.
The Strollers, Maplewood's community theater since 1932, proudly presents Comedy Tonight. Come laugh at your friends, come laugh at your neighbors as they tickle your funny bone with song, dance, and old-fashioned sketch comedy. One weekend only, September. All the details. Don't stay at home. Come play with the Strollers.
Having problems with your house? Is your mortgage upside down? Can't get a loan modification or short sale? Tenant troubles, job loss, or transfer? Does your house need repairs, or maybe you're facing foreclosure? Time is not on your side. Call now and speak to one of our friendly associates. No matter the reason you have to sell, we have solutions. Operators are standing by to take your call. 800-709-1732 or visit www.7sellahome.com.
Are you looking for a professional logo design for your website, brand, or business? Then we are the company you are looking for. We are professional graphic designers, and with our skills, we will design a perfect, high-quality logo for you. We work with standout concepts, nice contrasts, and color balance. Please let us know your text for use in logo, web address, color of logo that you want. We will design 3 variations of your logo for you to choose from for only $99.95, with 100% refund of your $99.95 if you're not satisfied. We provide fast delivery and professional design. We also design any size web banner ad for $35. Call us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to take your call.
Do you want your kid to run faster with better running form and conditioning for his or her sport? Then Running Development Academy is the place for him or her. Our training packages fix their form and make them run faster. How about training to run a marathon or just run faster in your respective event? Maybe you just want to learn to run properly and lose weight in the process. Our trainers, a former 800 meters track Olympian and an 8 times world record holder in Masters Track and Field, will get you there. Don't delay. Sign up today at runningdevelopmentacademy.com or contact us at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444 to learn more.
Want to learn piano for kids? Then I recommend Wendy Goldstein School of Piano. Wendy Goldstein has been offering piano lessons since 1993 and teaches piano in a very natural way. An alumni of Manhattan School of Music, Wendy creates customized lesson plans for each student and helps bring music alive. Wendy provides you a convenient location, the best value, and the most fun way to learn piano. All ages are welcome, and the first lesson is always free. Have questions? Call Wendy at 201-207-5169.
Want to take a cruise but don't have a U.S. visa? No problem. Cruise and Rail Traveler, experts at cruises that do not require U.S. visa. Visit www.cruiseandrail.net or call 868-631-8785. Find us on Facebook or drop us a tweet.
For community news, sports, and opinions, call us at 973-327-3626 or Go ahead and advertise on the South Orange Maplewood online radio experience. You can reach us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to assist you. You're listening to the South Orange Maplewood online radio experience. For more, go to SoMore.org to participate in the discussion.
I don't know anyone who understands the power of words more than Maya Angelou. I've been in her home at a party, and someone telling a homophobic joke or making fun of someone in a derogatory way, and watched her invite them to leave or stop them in mid-sentence and say, "Not in my house, you won't."
Words are things, I'm convinced. You must be careful about the words you use, or the words you allow to be used in your house. In the Old Testament, we are told in Genesis that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. That's in Genesis. Words are things. You must be careful. Careful about calling people out of their names, using racial pejoratives and sexual pejoratives and all that ignorance. Don't do that. Someday we'll be able to measure the power of words. I think they are things. I think they get on the walls. They get in your wallpaper. They get in your rugs, in your upholstery, in your clothes, and finally into you.
We are back with you. It's in the Village with Anselm and the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. Coming to you every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's 8 to 9:30 p.m. You can reach us here at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626. Now, Marjorie.
Yeah.
As you know, we have some news lately here that Maureen Jones and Elizabeth Baker announced last week that they will run a joint campaign for 2 of the 3 open seats in the South Orange Maplewood Board of Education in this November's election. From the candidates, we are joining together to run as a team for the South Orange Maplewood Board of Education because we agree on a common educational vision for our school district. We have good public schools here in our unique community, but we believe they must become even better. And we believe our complementary experience, skills, and background can help move the district forward. With the major initiatives already underway, the district is poised to offer our students a world-class experience that more consistently provides the rigor, challenge, and opportunity they all deserve. But these changes are not simple, and they won't happen overnight. Mm-hmm. We need patience and persistence, and we need to learn from both our successes and our struggle in the classroom. Now, I have a question for you.
Wait a minute. Why am I getting all the questions?
No, I'm not getting.
I am not the guest.
I
thought we were going to start like a whole co-hosting, so now I'm getting the questions.
No, we are co-hosts. We are going to be co-hosting.
All right.
You could ask me questions too.
Okay.
But this is the question.
All right.
And this is a very, 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 very important question.
I'm listening.
And this is why I'm asking that question.
What's the question?
Now, we have had many black candidates running for the South Orange Maplewood Board of Education since I've been living here and since you have been living here. What have they impacted regarding levels and the achievement gap? If you look at the levels at Columbia and the amount of kids of color in the lower levels, it is ridiculously high, and it hasn't seemed to improve at all. So if we have all these candidates of color running, shouldn't that be something that they seriously address in this community? Or are they just running to get elected, and once they get elected, they do like everybody else and ignore these problems that are facing the kids of color in this community? I mean, we have to ask those questions before you go there. And I always read this, and this is a caveat. And you know what I got to get, Margie?
Are you going to read the same thing you always read? Go
yes.
ahead.
Since you are here, we're going to have to get something that says the opinions of the announcers are not necessarily the opinions of the South Orange Maple Online Radio Experience. Just in case you say something. just in case.
The opinions of Anselm are not necessarily those of Marjorie. Okay.
The opinions of the co-host is not necessarily the opinions.
And the co-hosts don't necessarily agree. But
of the
go
South
ahead.
Orange.
No,
And
but
here
okay,
it is.
but wait.
Here it is. And I always read this. And this is very, very serious. Martin Luther King Jr. says, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Never be afraid to do what's right, especially if the well-being of a person or animal is at stake. Society's punishment are small compared to the wounds we inflict on our soul when we look the other way. Why are all the candidates of color that are running in this community continuously take the black community for granted and look the other way? Why? I'm just asking the question. As a matter of fact, if any of the candidates out there are listening, any of the candidates of color that are listening, some of them, they do listen. They do listen to in the Village With Anselm on the South Orange Maple Online Radio Experience because they see me in the streets.
All right,
and then they talk.
All right, okay, listen.
Yes.
There is a line, and see, I'm going to have this together because I need to see this article, but there is a line that you just read.
Yes.
That we need to...
let me repeat the line for you. Which line is it?
Well, I don't know because it's not in front of me. But where they say pretty much that they support the efforts that have been made by the district.
Well, with the major initiative already underway, the district is poised to offer our students a world-class experience that more consistently provides the rigor, challenge, and opportunity they all deserve.
Okay, stop. So, and when they say this, I guess they mean by instituting the IB program in the middle school. That is... well, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
What?
Of course, I don't want you to go into their mind, Marjorie.
No, I'm not going into their mind. I've spoken to one of these candidates,
Okay.
and I know what she means when she says this.
So I understand they're speaking in coded words, right? We got to figure out. Now, listen, I have to figure out
so I'm
exactly
gonna
what she means.
I'm going to decode. Now,
But why do you have to speak in coded words if you're talking about the IB?
So we only have like 7 minutes left. Can I?
Okay, go ahead. We could extend the time. Don't worry. I'll extend the time. Go ahead.
Great. So we know there's an IB program, right? In the middle school.
What is IB? Make for those people who don't know. Is it intellectual baccalaureate or whatever it's called?
Intellectual, international
baccalaureate.
So, then the IB program is that they're instituting or have instituted a middle years program. And in some schools, I believe that goes up until the 10th grade, but somehow they're shortening it for the middle school. So just like the advanced placement, which is run by the College Board, the IB is another, I don't know if you say, it's not a diploma. It's a.
Is that part of the Common Core?
No, it's not part of the Common Core. Because we know you would hate that then. Oh my God! At any rate, so here we have the IB program at the middle school. A credentialed agency. How's that? An institution that's international. So it's all over the world. And so those credentials, if you get this IB diploma, or whatever the name of that is, then, it's accepted all over. So there's that. And then they have a step-up program that happens in the summer for students to move from one level to the next. And from what I recall now, don't.
In Colombia, they have the step-up program?
Yes, they do.
You can move from one level to the next?
Yes, you can.
All right, listen to this, Marjorie. This is what we need to do.
Well, wait a minute. Drew asked one question. Let me finish.
Okay.
So what they're saying is that, if you consider the achievement gap, the major problem, the nucleus, and all of these different measures exist to close that gap. And from what I understand for the other candidates, and people who are on the board who are not for this IB program, they believe that there should be some assessment of a program that just began. And they're saying that, it's too early to make those assessments. However, I'd really like to see what the 8th grade test for the middle schools, what they look like at this point. And I don't think any of that information is out yet.
Is she for or against the Common Core? Do you know?
Elizabeth Baker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe anyone is as against the Common Core as you are. But I think, not to try to.
By the way, we just so we can clear the air, you are for the Common Core, right?
Am I for the Common?
Yeah.
I understand Common Core. I understand these standards.
Yeah, but I'm just you could just answer that.
Yes, I think it's
that's
okay.
fine. That's
it's
just,
all right.
So
Yes,
people,
it is.
Yes, so people can know that you are for the Common Core. You're gonna co-host. You might co-host. You're for the Common Core. And I'm against the Common Core.
But you don't even know why you're against the Common Core.
I know why I'm against the Common Core.
We're not talking about. Let's stay on topic.
We are staying on topic because you're talking about this IB program, which is something similar to the Common Core program that they have hoisted on us. That they have hoisted on us in this community.
Hoisted it?
Yeah.
These are measures that have been taken to try to reduce or, lessen, mitigate, whatever the word is, this gap in test scores.
But Common Core is worse for that. It increases the achievement. It doesn't decrease.
No, it doesn't. We're not. I don't want to talk about Common Core right now because you're going to get me heated up and there's not enough water and not enough time.
Okay, all right.
We can have this fight off the air. All right?
Okay, all right. This, Common Core, she's a fighter for the Common Core.
I'm not. But I understand what it is. And just as I told you and would tell anybody, if the Koch brothers are against the Common Core,
Joanna Wright is against the Common Core, right?
I'm for the Common Core.
Joanna Wright is against the Common Core.
If the state of Texas is against Common Core, then I'm for it.
But all these states are getting rid of the Common Core. The Catholic Church is against the Common Core.
I am definitely for the Common Core.
But why are all these people...
Why did the Catholic Church take 2,000 years to pardon Galileo? Answer that, okay?
Or
400 years. I don't know. Okay?
What does that have to do with education?
What does it have? Because it shows the relevance of you using the Catholic Church as an excuse.
That's not an excuse.
I mean, as some.
But they have these Catholic schools. Don't they have all these Catholic schools
and many of them are closing down. So
but they have implemented a Common Core, and all these bishops come out and said, you know what?
Because the Common Core is asking. There are certain. Let's see. What are they? Not regulations. They're Common Core standards, right? So we need to look at these standards. And I'd really like to redo your whole Common Core program because I'd like to explain this to you. Okay, really need help with this.
With all the statistics that I've showed you.
You haven't shown me any statistics yet.
All right,
we're not talking about the Common Core. We are back. What are we talking about?
We're talking about the IB program.
The two candidates.
Yeah, we're talking about.
And so you said, why did the two candidates?
I asked if Elizabeth Baker. If Elizabeth Baker is for the Common Core. Yeah, and I asked you the question.
I think that we're going to get Elizabeth Baker on, and we're going to ask her how she feels about it. How she feels about the
Common Core?
Common Core, yes.
Okay.
All right.
And then we have, what about...
But I'm not speaking for Elizabeth Baker. And this other woman, I've never met
What about
her
the Nigerian doctor?
You really need to go to a commercial.
He's running.
I can't speak for him either, okay? I can only speak for Marjorie Lloyd.
You just gave your last name now.
Everybody
knows who you are now. Okay.
I'm sure they know why based on my voice. So.
Mm. But what about and this is my point, and we're gonna go for a short break.
Yeah, let's go for a break now.
You see what happened, ladies and gentlemen, is my co-host here. Whenever there's a tough spot, she always wants to go to a short break. But anyway, time check. The time is approximately 9:18. That time check is brought to you by Semper Alexander Computer Consultants. We had to implement cost-effective solutions to fulfill your business need. Semper Alexander for all your computer needs. We're going to go for a short break. And when we come back, we're going to come back with the Nigerian that's running for the Board of Education.
Want to take a cruise but don't have a U.S. visa? No problem. Cruise and Rail Traveler, experts at cruises that do not require a U.S. visa. Visit www.cruiseandrail.net or call 868-631-8785. Find us on Facebook or drop us a tweet.
Want to learn piano for kids? Then I recommend Wendy Goldstein School of Piano. Wendy Goldstein has been offering piano lessons since 1993 and teaches piano in a very natural way. An alumni of Manhattan School of Music, Wendy creates customized lesson plans for each student and helps bring music alive. Wendy provides you a convenient location, the best value, and the most fun way to learn piano. All ages are welcome and the first lesson is always free. Have questions? Call Wendy at 201-207-5169.
Do you want your kid to run faster with better running form and conditioning for his or her sport? Then Running Development Academy is the place for him or her. Our training packages fix their form and make them run faster. How about training to run a marathon or just run faster in your respective event? Maybe you just want to learn to run properly and lose weight in the process. Our trainers, a former 800 meters track Olympian and an 8 times world record holder in Masters Track and Field, will get you there. Don't delay. Sign up today at runningdevelopmentacademy.com or contact us at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444 to learn more.
Are you looking for a professional logo design for your website, brand, or business? Then we are the company you are looking for. We are professional graphic designers, and with our skills, we will design a perfect, high-quality logo for you. We work with standout concepts, nice contrasts, and color balance. Please let us know your text for use in logo, web address, color of logo that you want. We will design 3 variations of your logo for you to choose from for only $99.95, with 100% refund of your $99.95 if you're not satisfied. We provide fast delivery and professional design. We also design any size web banner ad for $35. Call us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to take your call.
Having problems with your house? Is your mortgage upside down? Can't get a loan modification or short sale? Tenant troubles, job loss or transfer? Does your house need repairs, or maybe you're facing foreclosure? Time is not on your side. Call now and speak to one of our friendly associates. No matter the reason you have to sell, we have solutions. Operators are standing by to take your call. 800-709-1732 or visit www.7sellahome.com.
The Strollers, Maplewood's community theater since 1932, proudly presents Comedy Tonight. Come laugh at your friends, come laugh at your neighbors as they tickle your funny bone with song, dance, and old-fashioned sketch comedy. One weekend only, September 19th, 20th, and 21st at the Bergdorf Center for the Performing Arts in Maplewood. All tickets $10. Go to www.thestrollers.org for all the details. Don't stay at home. Come play with the Strollers.
Do you want to advertise in the South Orange Maplewood online radio experience? You can reach us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to assist you.
Because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show my salvation.
The workers of iniquity dig a pit for me. Now they're waiting for me to fall in. Trying to take me bread and butter with lies and propaganda, but they're fooling, they're only fooling. I will not be afraid of what man can do to me.
You're listening to the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. For more, go to showmore.org to participate in the discussion.
We are back with you. It's in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. Coming to you every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's 8 to 9:30 p.m. You can reach us here at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626. Now, Marjorie, you got some news for the people?
Well, this is coming from the Village Green. It's an article about the superintendent search. District makes changes, additions to superintendent search forums. Sorry. The South Orange Maplewood Board of Education has issued a revised and expanded schedule of forums for various stakeholders and members of the community to provide their input to the district as it searches for a new superintendent. The board is seeking input from a wide range of community members through 3 methods: an online survey, open forums, and focus group sessions for particular stakeholder groups. The sessions will be held with a consulting firm. The district is hired to guide the search. They hired a consulting firm.
Spending our monies. That's what they're doing. They're spending our monies to hire a consulting
You said you didn't
firm.
care about money, though.
Okay, yeah.
The board will use the input gleaned from these methods to approve a leadership profile and search criteria at its November 20th board meeting. 2 documents, an outreach schedule and an outreach plan, have been posted on the South Orange Maplewood School District website. Both documents are attached as PDFs. Members of the South Orange Maplewood communities now have 2 opportunities to attend forums and express their opinions. One is, or I guess the most recent, the upcoming one rather, is Tuesday, September 9th at 7 p.m. And the next one, Thursday, October 9th at 8:15 p.m., both at Columbia High School Library. Originally, there was just one open forum schedule. Parents of elementary, middle, and high school students each now have 2 opportunities to attend forums specifically for them. Saturday, September 13th for all 3, Monday, October 6th for elementary and middle parents, and Thursday, September 9th for Columbia High School parents and students. The Saturday, September 13th forum has opportunities throughout the day for various stakeholders to attend in the district meeting room at 525 Academy Street, the District Board of Ed office in Maplewood. Have you looked at the, scroll up for a second, have you looked at the survey that they asked what kind of superintendent you would like?
No.
I went on that forum once. Maybe they're like 20 characteristics or attributes. You can click on that, and then you're to pick maybe 8 of them.
Oh, I did the survey.
You did it?
It was useless.
What do you think would be a good superintendent? What characteristics do you think would be a good superintendent for our district, considering
a superintendent that comes from a diverse, school?
Do you think he should be a black guy or a woman?
No.
Why not?
I think it should be the most qualified person, but I think the person should come from a very diverse district. The person shouldn't come from a district that's predominantly black or predominantly white. Because in this community, we have a diverse school population.
How many communities are like this one?
How many communities? There's a lot of communities like this one. In New York, there's a lot of communities.
Okay.
Chicago, in LA, there's a lot of communities like this one. But if we are serious about finding a candidate who can address...
So he comes from a diverse community. Do you think he should have been do you think that this person should have been a superintendent already?
Not necessarily.
Do you think they should have been an educator?
Yes, they should be. They should have been in education.
Been in a classroom, or maybe just an administrator.
They should have been. You know what? Some superintendents never been in classrooms.
Do you think that's...
No, that's not necessary. But you have to understand the population. You have to understand levels. You have to understand the achievement gap. You have to understand that some teachers, are not looking for the highest standards from all the kids. Some teachers don't want high values. I'll give you an example.
We're not getting to the bad teacher discussion. Hold up.
I'm not going there. But listen to this. I just want to get you here. When you go to boarding school, right? It doesn't matter the color of your skin.
No, it matters how much green you have in your pocket.
And the teachers hold all the kids accountable to high standards.
Because people with that amount of money...
Not everybody that goes to boarding school have money. There are kids that go there on scholarships. They don't have a lot of money. As a matter of fact, most of the kids on the sports teams, I can guarantee you, a lot of those kids are getting scholarships. And a lot of those kids are kids of color in boarding schools.
All right. But I can comment on that, but I don't want to go there because I can explain something I noticed in my experience I just had this summer, working at this Institute for Gifted Students at Princeton.
Are they really truly gifted?
No, but you were supposed to tell them that they all were. Okay, so much.
So how did they get into the program? They're not gifted.
Their parents were gifted with the money.
I guess it's the same thing that we have here in South Orange.
No, it's the same thing that you probably have in boarding schools.
No, as far as what is concerned.
Well, and when you say that, everyone does well, I mean...
Most kids do well in boarding school.
I don't want to even say it, but I mean, there was a sort of a pressure to say that everyone did well when I had to evaluate every student.
In your program?
It's not my program.
In the program that you just
that
came
I
from?
worked in, yes.
Yeah, because the people paid all that sort of money. Why are you going?
Well, there's the same thing for boarding school.
No, it's not this. But most of those kids go to college.
Why are we arguing about this when we were talking about the superintendent? Let me ask you: do you think that the superintendent should have a vision, or should they just follow the vision and mission of the district that we live in? That's already been established by the board.
Well, he should look at the vision, and if he thinks the vision should be changed, he should consult with the board and change that vision. Because every time a superintendent come in, he's going to have to follow whatever vision is already there. Maybe that's not what he wants to do. Maybe he wants to.
But if a board is hiring and a board has set the vision and the mission for the district,
but the board is his boss, so he got to follow whatever they tell him.
Okay. So if someone said, if he was, in an interview, and they said, "Well, what's your agenda?" I don't have an agenda. My agenda.
So what does Baker think? What does your friend Baker think?
I don't know, but I didn't discuss that with her.
Okay. Now what about your Nigerian friend?
And so we need to shut it down. We need to shut it down.
What about your Nigerian friend?
I can't. I am not speaking for candidates. If I was going to speak for a candidate,
no, I'm not.
I would have spoke for myself as a candidate, and I'm not one, so I'm not talking about that. Right? We're talking about the superintendent. I can't believe you're trying to pen me.
No, I'm just trying to understand.
Oh my God!
I'm just trying to understand that we have candidates, and this is.
Well, I mean, supposedly this is like the key issue. What superintendent is going to be hired, and who is this person? Are they going to be better, greater than Osborne? Some people do not want someone who doesn't have experience. But what's interesting, like a lot of schools, charter schools primarily, and other kinds of, alternative schools, if you are coming from private industry, you could go through some quick alternate route, perhaps, and be hired because they don't believe that those of us who are professional educators have the ability to teach, whereas somebody who was a businessman or a statistician or, whatever field they were from would probably be a better teacher than people who will.
But Margie, we really have to address this question, and I think this question is very important. And we have to get back to it. I think even before the superintendent, we got to look at the members and the board, because they really implement. They can change policy. They can have.
What policy would you like change? Don't talk about Common Core.
No,
what policy would you like
let's
change?
forget about Common Core.
Okay.
First of all, levels, right? AP classes, honors classes, all right? Because if you go to Columbia High School, you can tell the kids that are in level 2, level 3, level 4.
By just
AP
walking past. Yes, this is a well-known fact.
Yeah,
yes.
but look, we have been knowing this for so long.
So are you assuming, and I am not an apologist for the Board of Education by any means.
But how come they have not done anything about it?
How do we know what's been done? Do you know for sure that nothing has been done?
No. Things have been done, but it has not worked. Because it's the same thing. It's the same thing over and over and over. They say it. It's the same thing. You hear all the kids, predominantly the kids of color.
Except for the Nigerians, yes.
Are in the lower level. The Nigerians are not in the lower level.
No, the Nigerians, they ain't having that. They're not having it.
They're in the AP and honors classes.
And the honors classes, yes.
Yeah, but why is that? Why is it? And it happens.
So, obviously, if Nigerians and Haitians, Ghanaians, or anybody else who is
and Caribbeans.
Okay, especially Trinidadians.
Especially Trinidadians. you got to be right. Trinidad and Tobagonians. Don't forget the Tobagonians.
No one from Detroit is in an honors class. Let me get that right. So, why is that? I mean, how do we explain why these original black people, minus the Caribbean people who are not original because they're just original to their island, but they're not even original there. But that's another story.
You're not original. I mean,
At any rate.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the opinion of Marjorie is not necessarily the opinion of the South Orange Maple Online Radio Experience. just let me put that. I have to make sure.
And the opinion of Anselm is not.
I have to make sure and put on the caveat. So if you listen in Trinidad and Tobago, please don't. No,
because why? I mean, what are you? Okay. At any rate, what I'm saying is. So if you have these honors classes and these AP classes, and the students in there are from the Caribbean or Nigeria or Haiti,
before we
question maybe is why those students, and maybe we should see or question what's going on in their lives that puts them there.
Before we close.
Rather than totally blame the district. No, now, it's not to say that the district and the guidance people make, and white people make the same complaint that black people do, that their kid has been, mistreated, shafted, or not given the privileges.
No, let's quickly listen to this. This is, and after we do this, we're going to close on this.
You're not going to close with Tim Wise again, are you?
Let's listen to this. Let's listen to this.
And so,
but this is what we're talking about. This is factual.
No, this is an opinion.
This is President Barack Obama. This is President Barack Obama.
And who went to a private school himself.
Just take a listen.
That one day, this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Segregated schools were and are inferior schools. We still haven't fixed them 50 years after Brown versus Board of Education.
That's what the president said. Segregated schools. We still have segregated schools, and we haven't fixed them since Brown versus Board of Education.
So in a segregated school, you mean that there's schools that are for white students and there's schools that are for black students?
No.
That's what segregation is.
No. When I talk about segregated, I'm talking about segregated and segregated
within
AP classes, yes. AP classes, honors classes, levels. You have it's segregation within the school. Segregated. No,
I don't think that's what he was referring to. When you talk about segregated schools, you're generally talking about schools that are all white, or predominantly white and predominantly, if not all, black. That's what they mean by segregated. They're not talking about why some black kids are sitting together in the cafeteria, or why white kids are sitting together in the cafeteria. They're talking about a segregated. That school over there, Shabazz, is all black. Milburn is mostly white outside of the Asian population. So there's a segregation. However, that's a different town over there on the other side, less than a mile away, and then there's a different town over there. So,
let's continue.
And the inferior education they provided, then and now, helps explain the pervasive achievement gap between today's black and white students.
Turn on. So he's saying segregation explains achievement gap. So, and you're saying
when you segregate it, you have all the kids of color in the lower levels.
No. But he is talking. I don't think that's what he.
And all the kids in the higher levels.
Taken out of context because I don't know what he was talking about. But he's saying segregation, that you have one town that's black, or in a community, let's say, if Clinton School is all black and Marshall School is all white, you could say that that's segregated. Because those are two separate schools.
Yeah,
but I mean, let me ask you this, though.
I think they're speaking about...
No, because most schools aren't like Columbia High School.
Let's just finish here.
I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama with its having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream for this.
Let me turn that.
When we take those tests, even when black and Latino students score at the top of the distribution. So even when black and Latino students do very well using the biased and absurd indicators that we use in this country, they're still 40% less likely to be put into an advanced placement class or an honors class in high school than white students who scored in the middle of the distribution. So you have average white students, according to this criteria, and of course the criteria is bogus, but understand it's the one we use. Using this criteria, white students who are merely average are still more likely to have advanced or accelerated classes once they get to high school. What does that mean? It means that those students are going to get more prepared for the SAT, right? They're going to get more prepared for the ACT. They're going to take the test and they're going to do better. And we're going to act shocked when people of color do worse on a test that they were systemically excluded from preparing for.
Stop.
As if that is a surprise. I mean, black and Latino students of whatever socioeconomic status, 2.5 times more likely than whites to be put into remedial classes, where they're not going to receive the same instruction, they're not going to have the same coursework, they're not going to be challenged in the same way, right? And so we then act surprised when in 11th grade they take the SAT, the ACT, they don't do as well, and then our society says, well, now you're not capable of going on to college, or at least not that college, because you're not as smart as somebody else over here. The fact that the structure of the educational system guaranteed that you would not do as well, virtually assured it, is something we don't want to talk about. But that's the systemic issue.
See? And that's exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when we look at in this community, and we're going to close, we got a minute left. When we look in this